Should you go see Wicked for good? The answer is a resounding yes.
Yes.
This is going to be a spectacle. This is the movie of the season, definitely the movie of the week. Sitting around the Thanksgiving table this year, talk about Wicked. Don't talk about politics. Other people are going to be talking about this movie, quoting lines, talking about the songs, talking about the set design, the production, the actors, the performances. That's half of the fun of going to the theater. There is a sense of community of sitting silent in a movie theater. But is Wicked for Good a good movie? And I know, don't hate me. Please don't hate me. I think the first Wicked movie is good, but the second half of this entire story, i.e. Wicked for Good, it falls quite flat. Now, before I start talking about the stuff that didn't work for me, let me just get out of the way that this movie looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. The performances are great. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are firing on all cylinders. Jeff Goldblum is doing what Jeff Goldblum does. The costumes are great. The pink, the green, it works. It looks great. A Ferrari red paint job on a 2001 Honda Civic is still a 2001 Honda Civic. Did just make a car reference when talking about a musical, so I might be terrible at YouTube and knowing my audience. But genuinely, Wicked for Good falls flat because there's no forward momentum in its plot. All the stuff that made the first part fantastic is missing in Wicked for Good. Ariana Grande was the standout performance, in my opinion, of the first Wicked, and she isn't able to be the bubbly Glinda because everyone is sad in this movie. And it's okay that everyone's sad. Honestly, don't even get me into the whole plot, like, take down the animals thing, because that just doesn't even really make sense to me. Like, I understand it. I understand the concept, but I think it's silly. And, like, not just because they're talking animals, to use goats as literal scapegoats. Oh my god, that's why the professor's a goat, isn't it? He's a literal scapegoat. Holy cannoli. In addition, I honestly just didn't buy into the Glinda Elphaba rivalry, sisterhood relationship they had. It didn't make me feel anything when they kind of reunited at the castle. When Glinda was like, you know what, Jeff Goldblum, you being a butthead, you know? And this is someone who cries at a lot of movies. And I'm not saying that this won't have the effect on you, because the people next to me were crying and sniffling, and I'm glad they loved the movie. The thing about movie and art is it's subjective. Just because I didn't really care for something doesn't mean you're not going to love it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I am a young 30 years old. There's a lot of people around my age that find Wicked, the musical, to be very important to them. It was a big part of who they are, in the same way that something like, I don't know, Dragon Ball is to me. I get it. We can have blinders on for the stuff that we love. But my biggest issue is, historically, the second half of Wicked has been its weakest point. So it kind of begs the question, why break the movie into two parts and not significantly change the second half of the story? I understand that we want to stay true to the material, but the person who screenplayed this movie also wrote the original story. So if that person isn't allowed to change their own story, who is? Sometimes doing different adaptations for different mediums is okay. Regardless of what I said and what I complained about it, you should go see Wicked. This is a spectacle. Because of the success of the first one in 2024, it feels a little bit reminiscent of big movie events like Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Endgame, the Avatar franchise, and I'm trying not to just say Disney-owned films. I would love for kids to go to school after Thanksgiving break here in America talking about this movie like I used to do when I was a kid, going and seeing the Hangover movie and quoting jokes with my friends. Regardless of how good or bad the plot is, that isn't the whole story of a movie. A movie is more than just a plot, and you can love a movie regardless of whether it's good or bad or meh. So go see Wicked for Good, have some fun, talk about it with your friends, have a good holiday week. All right, bye.